I met Cody a couple years ago. Actually, we had done some filming together, and the first impression of the guy, I knew he was a true fisherman, a true outdoorsman, and it's even more true today. Just the years have gone by since we fished together, and you can see his experience has grown and his knowledge of these waters have grown, and he's really become a great fisherman.
I grew up in Reddington Shores. It's kind of in between Clearwater Beach and St. Pete Beach. Pretty sleepy little beach town in a little area called the Narrows, so it's kind of an interesting area. I forget the name, but it's some kind of subtropical to some other zone where Florida switches, and really good fishing in there. Snook, redfish, and trout, and just kind of grew up as a little grom dock fishing.
Fishing on the West Coast is so much different than where I come on the East Coast. 20-mile runs on the East Coast, you're in thousands of feet of water. 20 miles off the West Coast, you're in 20 feet of water. And talking with Cody, he's making 90-mile runs. So 90 miles pretty much equates to 90 to 100 feet of water, about a foot per mile, which is insane to think of. And we're going in a brand new Camus. This is a brand new boat. I'm excited to get it out there, but again, this is an adventure, and it's not taken lightly. I don't want people at home to think, oh, this is something that I could just go out and do with a single outboard and not have another boat with me. It's not. You have to take it serious. Weather can turn, and there's a lot of preparation that's involved in a situation like this. We even changed our plans. We waited for the morning. The winds were supposed to fall off, and the forecast was right. We left the pass 9:30, 10 o'clock. The wind started to lay down, and we just had the right conditions. But again, you can have the right conditions and things can turn bad, but we were prepared. We had extra fuel, we had the camera boat, we had an EPIRB, satellite phone, and we took the necessary precautions to ensure that we were doing this in a safe fashion. Seeing his posts, seeing his videos where he's catching red snapper on topwater plugs, that intrigued me. I knew I had to get to this area and try that. When you think of red snapper, it's a reef fish. It's not something that you traditionally think of as a topwater fish that's gonna come up and strike a lure on the surface. And when I first saw the video of it, I first heard about it, I was amazed. Man, is that them?
That's them, buddy.
Oh.
I think that a little run we just did might be worth it. What do you think?
So 90 miles from Clearwater Pass.
Yeah, we're about 90 nautical miles. Just a nice little live piece of hard bottom here, and wow,
that's all snapper.
That's all snapper. That machine is showing fish literally from the surface
there, right here next
all the way
to
to the bottom.
Hey,
we should be able to see them right under the boat.
Yep. Oh, look at them all behind the boat.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
We were going for the visual aspect of this. It's something to come out here and to catch them, but to be able to visually experience it, to see the strikes, to capture that in slow motion, to see how aggressive they are, and for everyone to be able to witness this unique experience.
The Gulf of Mexico off our area, we have this huge shelf and it runs for like 100 miles. So we have this vast area of real estate to catch bottom fish. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours running, looking for new spots. I mean, every time I go out fishing, we're running 30, 40 miles an hour on average. And I'm constantly just staring at the bottom machine, looking for a new spot. And I mean, that's how you find a lot of these really, really good areas is you're out just spending time on the water and looking. And that area we fished for that shoot is an area I found probably 5-6 years ago. It was great grouper fishing. And then once these snapper moved in our area, they just completely overtook this area. There's red snapper all over the Gulf, but that is a very unique scenario there. I mean, those fish are so aggressive. They're not scared of the boat. They're not scared of the engine. I mean, they truly act different than 99% of the red snapper I see anywhere in the Gulf. They're aggressive.
As soon as we pulled up to Cody's spot, immediately came to life. The red snapper, I'm not lying to you, you didn't have to look on the red marine, you just looked behind the boat and they were following the boat. These things were almost like pets and they were ready to be fed. Look at him. Oh my God. This is crazy.
This is nuts.
What a fishery. Let's see if they'll take this yo-zuri.
Yeah, they will. Oh, look at him on the top water.
Oh!
Oh my God.
I've never heard of catching red snapper on top water.
George, you ever hooked a reef fish on a top water before?
95 feet of water.
Yep, on top water. Look at them all.
It's insane.
That's unreal, isn't it?
We got him on the yo-zuri. Oh.
I've caught a lot of fish on top water, and red snapper is definitely one of my favorites.
Wow, you weren't lying. You told me about this. I saw this. You posted something on Instagram, a video, and I'm like, I have to do that.
Yeah, man, honestly, it's if you're gonna fish for red snapper, this is the way to do it. That's a good one, George. Looks kind of funky, doesn't it, when you got a topwater hanging out of his mouth? There you go, buddy. That's a good one, man.
That's what I came out here for.
First cast.
Look at the belly on that thing.
I think he wolfed that plug.
Look at that thing.
That's a beautiful fish.
Gorgeous.
It's just something new that I get really excited about every time I see it. I mean, you see a fish that's that color on the surface, it's very odd.
Oh!
That was too cool.
Oh! I hit it right there.
Unbelievable. On the popper. That was too cool, buddy. How's that pop they make?
You're right, it's like a suction,
you know?
of a snook.
It is. Look at the other one trying to eat the plug out of its mouth.
Probably hooked two out here.
Boom.
God, they're all cookie cutter size.
On the popper. Now that's something I've never done, the popper. I've never tried the popper yet. Wow.
Wow.
That is pretty.
Belly on those things.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably 8-pounder, 9-pounder.
The color is amazing. They're such a pretty fish.
Yeah, that's one of the prettiest fish we catch out here. Hogfish is pretty close, but.
I mean, look how fat he is. Look at the girth. Look at the belly on this. These were aggressive. This is an aggressive school of red snapper. These are a lot of fish that are all similar in size, and they were all just as hungry as the next, and super aggressive. One would miss the plug, the other one was right there behind it. There was two of them at a time coming out of the water. It was the most craziest scene that you could possibly imagine, especially for a snapper to come out of the water chasing a topwater plug.
My house, I grew up on the water, I was born on the water. I lived across the intercoastal from some mangrove islands and a really good redfish flat. When I was very, very young, my dad would take me. You know, I grew up just fishing off the dock. I mean, catching anything. I just loved to fish, you know, catfish. I used to even fish off the dock for catfish and try to figure out just like crazy ways to fish for them. I was just ate up with it, you know, and still today am to a fault almost, but I think that's anyone who's really dedicated about something, you know, they're going to be passionate about it to a fault, and I definitely am. I miss a lot of things to go fishing, and sometimes I regret it and sometimes I don't.
It's funny looking back, the first experience I had was going fishing for hogfish with Cody, and at that time, that was something new, completely new. And I think what you find is some of the best people in their business are the true innovators, and they're the ones that truly blaze the path for others to follow. And I think you find that with somebody like Cody. You know, he's doing something now that nobody else has done. I've never seen, you know, somebody target these fish with topwater or fly, and he's going that next step, and he's learning new techniques and finding new ways to target these fish, and that's what I love about the guy, that he's just as fresh as they come and he's as real as they come.
Tide's right, they're starting to tail.
The tide's right.
The tide's dropping out, George. Look at them. Boom.
They should start to show.
Yep, they're starting to show.
Knowing that they're actively striking a topwater plug, you pretty much, you know, you can assume that they're going to take a fly. And what better opportunity than to get a novice, or close to novice, fly fisherman myself, I don't ever claim to be too great at it, but to have the opportunity to catch one on a fly.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Oh, yeah!
That's a good fish right there, George.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's a 10, 12 pounder. Wow.
Oh, you can come out here and catch red snapper on the fly rod.
On the feather, buddy. That was pretty cool. That was about as visual as a bite you'll ever get.
Yeah, that was so cool.
That's awesome. I think you might be a little undergunned, bud, with that 8 weight.
I get him.
That was awesome to watch that fish track that fly and inhale it. And that was one of the bigger fish back there too, which was the cool part.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
Look at this on a fly rod.
That is an unbelievable fish right there, George. It's a nice fish. He's definitely not happy to see me.
The death grip. On the fly.
On the fly rod, buddy. That's a 10-pound fish.
So nice.
It's pretty, isn't it? That's a pretty fish with a feather hanging out of his mouth. That looks like a tarpon fly.
Grab the biggest one with the strongest hook I
Yeah,
had.
that was a
I
good
knew
call.
we were gonna need it.
That's a fish taco, a couple dinners.
That's some good eat right there.
Isn't it? An even prettier fish than it is tasty, but there she goes.
Wow. On the fly.
Good work,
Love it.
buddy. That
Thank
was
you.
cool.
Thanks for putting me on him. Cody was playing captain guide. He was gracious enough to be back there chunking up chum, throwing him, keeping him fired up. He wanted him right behind the boat to really get the visual. And after a while, I noticed this guy's not even fishing. You know, it was time for him to pick up a rod and get to experience some of this. Oh, they're on you.
Oh, he came in off. I've messed mine up.
Oh, that's a good one on me. Doubled up
I'm
on the
trying to
fly.
figure out if it's hooked yet.
Yeah, I think if he lets it go, somebody else is gonna grab it.
Yeah.
Is this like this year round, or is it seasonal?
You know, oh, mine came off. It seems like the fall and the spring. The
And you got another one.
You know, they come up to the surface more. I think when it gets real hot, it gets cooler towards the bottom, so they like to spend most of their time down there. But in the fall and the spring, it seems like
Oh, mine came off.
we get them up top like this more. But it's kind of a new deal, so I'm still figuring it out, you know? I think you got another one, bud.
Yeah, I lost him and then I got
Careful,
another
you get deep enough, you're gonna get a gag.
gag on a fly rod. That would be something.
That'd be killer.
I'm excited to introduce to you guys the new Capt 260 HB. This is a boat that's been a long time coming, designed by legendary boat builder Earl Benz, who's partnered up with Michael Peters for this proprietary double-step tunnel hull system. Capt with its double-step tunnel hull is a very soft ride, extremely fuel efficient, quick, and very dry. The HB and 260 HB means it's hybrid. It's a perfect blend. This is the type of boat that I could take out there and fish hardcore. But also it has the features that are perfect for my family. On the weekends, I can load these things up with the wife, the kids, the dog, head out to the sandbar, and have all the comforts of a family boat. So I've had this boat now for a couple months and I've fished it a bunch, and there's some features that I really like about it. We've built this boat for true fishermen. It has a great live well system, has a big fish box, a big fore and aft casting deck, Truly thought out for the hardcore fishermen. But like I said, this also has a lot of amenities for the wife and kids. It has forward and aft seating with backrests, big swim platforms, and a porta potty. So the Cayman's 260 HB. It's been a long time coming, and it's finally here. It has all the features to keep the most seasoned angler happy. At the same time, the wife and kids will truly enjoy this boat. So they process in their own fish here, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so we do all our restaurants, 9 of them, and then we probably sell to like another 25 restaurants around here.
Cody did not stumble into this industry. He comes from a lineage of fishermen. His dad owns the fish house, and there's no secret, his dad owns, a restaurant in Clearwater Beach. But you know what? It's not like Cody's just been given stuff. This is a guy that's earned respect, and you can tell he's worked for it. He spent years younger. He was telling me, I used to clean these guys' boats when I was a kid. So he put the time in to learn the techniques, to learn the process, and to become a part of the industry, and that's what he is. His dad was gracious and eager to show us the restaurant, the fish house, the cleaning stations, and even prepare us a meal. I mean, who goes that route? Just great people.
Fishing as a career is a very hard career to make money in. At a very young age, kind of the guys that I idolized were all charter captains, commercial fishermen, and a lot of them were my good friends, and I grew up fishing with them. So I kind of just naturally fell into that. I started commercial fishing at a very young age before I could even get a captain's license. I was a mate on a lot of these guys' boats, and then finally when I had a boat big enough to go offshore, I was commercial fishing full time, by the age of 16. And I was making a lot of money in high school doing it, and then even in college. But it's the passion part that kind of keeps I think everyone that's in the fishing business in it, because you can't do it for the money. You have to have a passion for it. Big fish.
That thing is a giant. Look at the belly.
That's a 10, 12 pounder, maybe 14. That was might be my biggest on fly right there, George.
Personal best.
PB.
Pretty.
He has been eating good. He's not skipping any meals.
No, it's fatty.
He's a Burger King snapper. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ah, that was fun.
Sweet, good job. We came to Clearwater Beach with a clear goal in mind. It was to travel 90 miles offshore, brand new canvas boat. Not always do the weather gods cooperate and everything aligns, but it happened in this time. Topwater, subsurface, surface cruiser, fly, everything I had planned in my head worked out perfectly. Rarely do things measure up the way you have them built up in your head leading up to something. You have these ideas. But Cody delivered. The fishing was perfect. The boat ran perfect. Everything was perfect.
You always get this sinking feeling in your stomach when you run as far as we did to go do something. And you're always thinking, man, this is gonna be the one time that it's not gonna happen. God, maybe someone's gonna finally be sitting on my secret spot, And it was a little bumpy the whole way out. We kind of maybe pushed the envelope a little bit, but it got nicer and nicer as we went. So, to see his face and see that, and it was, for me, it was kind of justifying, the run that we just made, because, anytime you go offshore and it's not flat calm and it's 2 to 3 foot like it was for that long of a distance, you're always kind of on edge. And to share that with someone that's never seen it before, before we even caught a fish, I was already ecstatic. It's one of those things that it's almost more aesthetically pleasing to see those fish up on the surface than to actually catch them. I have just as much fun watching them as I do throwing plugs at them.
This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is what Unfathomed is about. It's discovering these new techniques, these new destinations and these new people. This is exactly what it's about. That's why we do what we do. Those are the stories we want to tell. Maybe you could help me with some word enunciations and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty garbled. Oh, they like salami!
Well, good thing you didn't like your sandwich, bud. First time I saw it, I literally just fell over. Oh my God, that thing is haggard. Oh, my toenails just look gnarly. Zoom in on that thing. Oh.
Good release.
Good release, man. Oh no, that's gonna end badly.